Hello, Hylians.
Chica, Zoras, Rios, Harulu, Zonai, Goblins, Moblins, Lizalfos, Lionels, Aldugas, Geese, Chuchu, Giga, Bluebees, Bears, Boars, Cuckoos, Thunderbirds, Deer, Dogs, Horses, Fairies, Cows, Foxes, Crabs, Frogs, Fish, the Dead, Koroks, Rhinos, Seals, Sheep, Snails, Squirrels, Buffalo, Wolf, Moose, Bugs, Lizards, Octoroks, Wizrobes, Guardians, Rocks, Hinoxes, Dragons, Cannons,
And Gorons. If you're an experienced player, I bet you don't know everything on this list. And if you're a newer player, this will probably help a lot. I asked my community on YouTube, Facebook, link in the description, for tips, tricks, and things they wish they knew when they started playing Breath of the Wild. And I picked my favorite ones, and here are 145 of them. If you have questions about most of the things I mentioned in this video, feel free to leave a comment, and I probably have a video on those things, so check out all the links in the description. The first thing to mention that a lot of experienced players agree on is to play the game without getting help as much as possible. The game starts off as Link waking up, not knowing what's going on. It's a genius way for you to feel the same way. Go play, try some stuff, discover things, make mistakes, and figure it out. Of course, if you're really struggling, you can go look it up, but having your own experience is highly suggested. There are many things in the game that tells you important things and how to do certain things, but if you're like me, you just get lazy to read. So when the game tells you something, try actually reading the text and paying attention. You might actually learn something. If you're wondering if you should get the DLC, yes you should. What the DLC does is add things to the game. If you already started the game, you would not have to start over. Those extra things would just be added to your game. If you get the DLC later, you may have to backtrack a bit to get those things. You can always reload. Game overs don't really cost anything. Just don't forget to save. After you get off the plateau, even though it's suggested to go find Impa, you can literally go wherever you want and do whatever you want. Like I mentioned earlier, part of the game is to explore and try things out, so the choice is yours. You can even go straight to Hyrule Castle. There are some tough enemies, but you'll be okay. And there are some of the best weapons there if you're willing to go. You can even go try to beat the game. Just know that you'll have to fight the bosses and the divine beasts that you haven't defeated. After you beat the game, there will be a percentage at the bottom left of the map of what the game considers to be a 100%. All 4 divine beasts is 0.32%, all 900 Korok seeds is 72%, all 120 ancient shrine discoveries is 9.6%, and all 226 location discoveries are 18.8%. You discover a new location when the text of the location shows on the screen. This is for newer Zelda players. Some of you get confused, but in all Zelda games, after you beat the game, it usually brings you to the previous save before beating the game, but for Breath of the Wild, it will just show you a star next to your file. When you start a side quest, you can get to the side quest in your inventory menu, and when you press A, it'll show you the location of the person you need to speak to for the side quest. This is helpful for NPCs that walk around and you can't find them. There are some side quests that you can't complete, but it won't show in your inventory that the side quest is completed. Just because you finished the shrine, you need to talk to the person that gave you the side quest. Then it will show that the side quest is complete. If you see any NPCs that are attacked, if you help them, they'll give you something. Walking around Hyrule, you'll see traveling merchants. You can talk to them while it's raining and they'll give you different items and even a discount. All shops restock their inventory at midnight, but you can't be near the shop. If you want to buy something over and over, travel somewhere far from the shop, sit by a fire until the next day after passing midnight, and then travel back to the shop and buy whatever you want again. Arrows will not restock if you have more than 50 arrows of that type. I already mentioned sitting by a fire allows Link to let the day pass, but if you're trying to make a fire on a small slope because of the rain, shoot the fire first, then place the wood. If you place the wood first, it would not roll. If you don't have fire weapons, you can use flint and a metal weapon to make fire. Or you can hit the ore deposit to create a spark. You need 13 hearts to get the Master Sword. You can exchange stamina vessels and heart containers at the horn statue in Hateno Village. Don't forget you can fast travel to towers and shrines. Newer players tend to forget this. If you're okay to try some glitches, I suggest searching these glitches. Whistle sprinting, which is barely a glitch, it allows you to run without using stamina, but also help you climb up some cliffs. Wind bomb is a little more on the difficult side. It allows Link to fly very fast and far away. And the arrow glitch. Simple glitch allows you to get infinite arrows. There's a small trick to launch you with wooden boxes. Put the bomb at the corner of the box, then stand on the opposite corner, then detonate the box. It's fun and easy to travel to places like the Northeast Maze. If you don't know whether to pick hearts versus stamina when you're using your spirit orbs, most say to get as much stamina as possible and get hearts when you feel you're uncomfortable surviving. You can always get temporary hearts. Temporary hearts are this yellow heart that count for health, but they will disappear after being used. You have to get more. The same applies for temporary stamina. All materials with Hardy in its name will give Link temporary hearts, and the best and easiest one to get is durians. When you have a fairy in your inventory, it will prevent Link from dying. This is probably for newer players since this happens in most Zelda games. Fairies spawn in fairy fountains, under rocks, and cutting grass. And it will not spawn if Link has more than 2 in his inventory. So you can hold fairies and more will appear. There is a trick that gets you up to 21 fairies. Link in the description. Besides cursor bee honey, if you sort your materials, all the materials starting from raw gourmet meat all the way to ferocious horn don't add any affix to dishes. They add hearts and time to those dishes you make. Each dragon horn makes dish last for 30 minutes, the longest a buff can be. When cooking a meal, the monster extract will give a random bonus. It can make a dish last 1 minute, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes, or it can level up or down a bonus, or add 3 hearts, minus a quarter heart, or it could do no changes. Sometimes when you cook a dish, if you're lucky, you'll hear this gong sound. You will get a bonus effect like extra hearts or time. When you cook a dish after 11:30 during a blood moon, the dish will be guaranteed a critical cooking bonus. Blood moons respawn enemies and weapons, not materials. You can skip blood moons by going into shrines before they happen. Blood moons occur after 168 minutes of playing, not while menuing on the next midnight. You can wait in a shrine while idle. Let time pass, so when you leave the shrine, the blood moon should happen if you've waited long enough. Just make sure you disable the sleep function on your Switch, or Wii U, whatever you're using. After you pick up materials, they don't respawn after blood moons. They have a 1% chance to respawn every minute when you're not close to that location. If you want to farm materials off trees or walls, you can use the ice or blizzard rod to knock them all down. You can also shoot some arrows if you can't reach them. Not everything, but you can almost find anything on Satori Mountain, even a diamond. When Satori Mountain is glowing, of course the Lord of Mountain is there, but also many of the materials are multiplied. There's sections with lots of lizards, beetles, and a whole bunch more. Satori Mountain glows during the crescent moon. There is a pattern of 8 moons each day. Of course the crescent moon, then the 7-day moon, 13th day moon, full moon, smaller moon, 3rd quarter moon, 26th day moon, new moon, then back to crescent moon. You can't know what time the mountain will glow, so you can stand at the central tower and wait until it glows, and then it will stay glowing for 24 in-game hours. If you want to know what moon it currently is, you can talk to Hino at the Dueling Peak stable. He'll tell you, unless it's raining. My name is Nico, and 100% Zelda is a great YouTube channel that helps you find almost everything in Breath of the Wild and how to do some cool tricks and glitches. If you want a specific choo-choo jelly, you can always change any jelly by making them touch another element. Just don't shoot them directly with the arrow. If you're looking for a material or enemy and you've taken a picture of it, you can target it in the Hyrule Compendium, and then the Sheikah sensor will go off when you're nearby. Also, you can press Y. I never remember to do that. When you want to see if there's anything nearby, it's sometimes helpful to turn on the stasis rune to see things. I didn't realize this until very late, but after you stasis something, you can stasis it again to end the stasis sooner. This will also make the recovery time shorter. I didn't mention that you can target anything in the Hyrule Compendium, but besides shrines, I would also target treasure chests because they're hidden all over the place. To save a few seconds, wooden chests break. You don't have to open them. If you see a chest on the ground or water, you need to use magnesis to lift them up. If you feed dogs, they can lead you to treasure chests. The chests won't appear until you feed the dog, so feed those dogs. There's a chest in Eris Beach. You can't get it, unless you do some glitches. So don't worry, you're not crazy. There's also a chest in Hateno that you can't see with the same problem. If treasures are targeted with your Sheikah Slate, you'll hear beeping when you fast travel to Hateno, so you can ignore that. If you go to the old man's house in the Great Plateau, you may or may not hear a treasure sensor if it's targeted by your slate. This depends. If you get the warm doublet in the beginning on top of the mountain, there would be no chest here. But if you didn't get the warm doublet, a chest would appear here. The sensor would still go off if you didn't get that treasure chest. It still thinks the treasure chest is there. If you see a school of fish, you can whistle to scare them, and you can use a bomb or shock arrows to farm a group of them. Some dead guardians have guardian parts under them. Wagons usually have 2 oars in front and 1 in back. If you burn spicy peppers or sun shrooms, they'll create an updraft. You can also use 4 wood if you want to keep a consistent or reusable updraft. You can use wood to help ice melt faster if it's burnt, but you can really use anything that's burnt to help the ice melt faster. If you're close to a burning weapon, open flame, fire, cooking pot, or even an arrow, it creates a cold resistance. You can hold an elemental weapon for resistance level 1, cold or heat. You can get wet for 30 seconds with a choo-choo jelly to resist heat from the desert or death mountain. The highest level for a boost is level 3 in any meal and equipment combination. If you have level 3 attack dish with a level 3 attack equipment, you'll have just level 3. You can wear 3 different equipment for 1 dish for 4 different boosts. Ancient Proficiency adds 80% attack to weapons with Guardian or Ancient in their names. The gear also decreases damage to Link from Guardian enemies. Level 1 takes 20% off, level 2 30, and level 3 50. If you have all the Radiant set equipped, you'll get a bone attack up, which also adds 80%. When using dishes and gear, level 1 attack adds 20% to attacks, level 2 adds 30%, and level 3 adds 50. For defense, level 1 reduces damage by 4, level 2 reduces damage by 12, and level 3 by 24. For Link, since he has hearts, not health points, each quarter heart equals 1 damage point. Level 1 speed boost makes Link go faster by 10%, level 2 is 20, and level 3 is 30. Level 1 climb boost makes Link climb faster by 20%, level 2 by 30, and level 3 by 40. You can see enemies' health when wearing the Champion's Tunic or the Divine Beast helms from Amiibo. You can lose more or less stamina depending on the slope of what you're climbing. When you have your last piece of stamina left when climbing, the last jump will go twice as far. Level 1 swimming speed makes Link go 30% faster, level 2 is 60, and level 3 is 100. Link can also swim faster without any gear. If you're gliding, you should know that you have one more chance to use the paraglider. so use it right before you land. If Link wears the Island Lobster shirt, he'll go faster with the raft when he's using a Korok leaf. It's not that easy to control, but using a metal object like a weapon or a chest can make the raft go even faster. You can roast materials on Death Mountain. With that said, you can create a campfire Death Mountain just by dropping wood. You're gonna forget I told you this, but bomb arrows explode on Death Mountain. The minecarts can move by dropping bombs in the little pocket. It won't damage Link. Hitting bloopies will make them drop rupees. In the beginning, the best way to get rupees is from selling ores and from farming meat. Cook all the meat into meals in any combination, then sell those meals. You should be discovering this eventually, but I see this asked a lot. You can get more weapons, bows, and shield slots from Hestu. You first meet him south of Kakariko, and you have to help him get his maracas back. After that, you can find him at the Riverside Stable or the Woodland Stable or the Korok Forest. Once you find him at the Korok Forest, he'll stay there. This has also been asked a few times. When using the camera rune, press X to go into selfie mode. And you can use the joystick for different poses. And if you hold ZL while moving the joystick, there's even more poses. And some of them change depending on what items you have equipped. If you're still in the beginning of the game, it's always raining by the Zora section, so don't wait for the rain to stop. It will follow a regular weather condition after you complete a certain section of the game. You can use wooden shields to collect some arrows. They get stuck on the shield. For puzzle shrines that need weight, you can use materials for weight as shortcuts. For whatever reason, burning materials weigh more. If you have the DLC, you probably had some trouble in the Master Trials. Buffs can carry over, so do temporary hearts for sure. Of course, make a dish that gives Link 30 hearts, and I would choose to give Link level 3 attack up. You can cook wood for a dish that makes 1/4 heart. This might be helpful for your Master Trial. Yes, it's the beginning of the trials, but floor 10 is the hardest floor of all 3 trials. You might think you suck because you can't pass this one, but if you do suck at this game, it's not because of this floor. When finding the rock for rock formations, the missing rock is in the direction of where the missing rock would be. When dealing with Korok acorns, you can use stasis to stop them. For balloons, sometimes it's better to use bombs. If you want to track Korok seeds, there's a decent app you can use on your phone called Breath Companion. In most Zelda games, almost every minigame will give you something important like an item upgrade or a heart piece. Not all minigames in Breath of the Wild give you a unique item. Most of them just give you rupees. Besides the ones you have to do side quests for, shrine, or main quest, the ones that give you unique items are Selmie's Surfing, you can get a kite shield. The horseback archery has to be beaten twice to get the knight's bridle and saddle. And the horse obstacle course you have to beat twice to get the extravagant bridle and saddle. The obstacle course is easier when done backwards, and don't use a 5-star speed horse. Use a 4-star horse. And speaking of, horses will follow the paths automatically, so for the archery game, you don't have to worry about controlling your horse. By the way, you can change your horse's bridle and saddle by talking to Fauna. She's on the side of almost every stable. Just in case, to shield surf, hold ZL, jump, and press A. When shield surfing, there is no shield damage on snow, sand, and paths. The Radiant Shield is the fastest shield when surfing. Ancient Shield is second, and Shield of the Mind's Eye is third, and all the other shields are the same speed. Shield guard numbers are a little complicated, but to simplify it, if an enemy's attack is higher than the shield number, the enemy will swing through it. But if the shield is higher, the enemy staggers. Also, when parrying with a higher shield guard compared to an enemy's attack, the enemy will drop their weapon. Also, when you have a low shield guard shield and the enemy's attack is higher, then the durability of that shield will go faster. If you need an elemental weapon, just go north of the Great Plateau, there's a Colosseum. The enemies here carry each of the elemental weapons except rods. Enemies will get distracted by sound, bombs, and food. Of course, you can crouch to be sneakier. To add to that, jumping when crouched is not louder, so you can use this to go faster. You can hide in high grass if you crouch. You can be sneakier in the rain because the rain is loud. Sneak strike is done when you attack an enemy and they don't know you're there. It's either when they are asleep or if you sneak behind them. This does 8 times the damage. When you sneak strike an enemy, they get up and look to where they were just attacked. Because of this, you can sneak strike, then stand opposite of where you hit them, so then you can sneak strike them again. Then you can keep repeating this. Again, this does 8 times the damage each time and it saves you some durability. Bokoblins and moblins sleep at 10 PM and they wake up at 4 AM, except the ones on towers. They never sleep. Throwing a weapon at an enemy does 2 times the damage. Hitting a frozen enemy does 3 times the damage. Headshot damage is 2 times to the enemies, 10 times to archer enemies on towers, and I don't know why, but it actually does 10,000 times to an animal. Electric attacks to water and ice creates orbs that do 40 damage. Choo-choo jellies are wet. You can use them to get enemies wet. If enemies are on fire, they will do continuous damage until the fire goes out. This works well if you burn grass around them. Enemies and their weapons upgrade or level up after a certain time. This all depends on how many enemies you defeat. The more enemies you defeat, the faster the enemies and weapons upgrade as you go through the game. Bokoblin and moblins can't swim, so you can bomb them or Korok leaf them to instant death. You can deal with a moblin with a one-handed sword better if you're very close to them and crouch. They can't hit you with the weapon, just avoid the kick. If the enemy is a fire or ice enemy, you can defeat them with the opposite element. If rock the rocks swallow a rusty weapon or shield, they'll clean it and it will be a random weapon or shield. Stone pebbles can be picked up and thrown. Lizalfos are blind under their chins. If you glide above them, you can keep hitting them as long as you don't knock them away. If you see a cloud of keys, you can stasis one and they'll all fly away. Besides luminous taluses, iron sledgehammers do 4 times the damage to them, and any crusher weapon does double the damage. You may guess that you can stun elemental taluses and attack them, but you can recharge them too. This way, you can stun them again. Some Hinoxes have armor on their legs. If it's wooden, you can burn it and they'll dance. And if it's metal, you can shock them and they'll go ay 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 ay. If you hit a Stalnox in the eye with a bomb arrow, the eye will fall out automatically. Moldugas will chase bombs. Throw them, let them eat it, explode, and attack. Linos won't attack you if you don't pull out your weapon. They don't want to fight. They're just trying to live. If Linos are shooting you with their bow, you cannot stun them by shooting them in the face. In normal mode, you can use the Guardian's sound and the white light to know when to parry. Press A after you hear that laser stop and the eye turns white. Just be a little more careful in Master Mode. They do random timing. Guardian's weak spot is their eyes, but the Skywatchers, they have a second weak spot. It's on the top. It doesn't matter which Blight Ganon you fight first, their HP will be 800, the second will be 1200, the third will be 16, and the fourth will be 2000. If you fight them in Hyrule Castle, they'll each be 2000. The best 3 DLC items that are worth getting. The Ancient Saddle allows the horse equipped to fast travel to you when you whistle. You can get it near the horse ferry. Next, it's the Korok mask. It will make a noise when you're near a Korok. You get it from the Lost Woods. Follow the torches, then when you reach these 2 torches, just go to this spot. And the final note is the Majora's Mask. I chose this to be last, hoping the new players left this video by now. But if you need help, the mask makes enemies not attack you until you attack them. You can get this easily early in the game. It's by the lake just north of the Great Plateau. Go to the east side of the lake and use Magnesis. Did you know all these things? Did it help you? Did you learn anything? Number 43 was definitely my favorite. What number was yours? Let us know in the comments. Again, I have lots of Breath of the Wild videos on many of these subjects mentioned in this video, and they're all in this playlist. Thank you so much for watching. A thumbs up if you liked it. I hope you consider subscribing or at least checking out the channel for more Zelda content. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.